All right, we are back to being live again. I apologize from earlier when I had to just suddenly stop the stream, but I had to go do something and I was called to do it very suddenly. So hopefully that doesn't happen again and I'll be able to stream for hopefully about an hour or so, although there might be something where I have to pause again. So if I do, I will of course let you know. But oh, good lord, I'm looking at notifications and I already have spam comments. How fun. He's back. I am, in fact, back. Hello again, Pentium Man. Hello, Bean. It's kind of a fun username. I'm a big fan. Thanks, man. I definitely appreciate hearing that. Looks like we got 4 people watching. Very, very nice. Just a reminder that these streams are an opportunity to interact with me and ask me any questions that you would like. It's pretty much just a you say something and I'll respond. Happy 2 years. Thank you. Yes, this is the 2 year anniversary of my YouTube channel. I made the account on November 5th, 2019, and here we are, November 5th, 2021. A wing of my school has 2903s. My school has 2903s, and I hope they replace the system so I can get a 2903. Nice. I think the 2903s will probably stay unless they're already like planning to upgrade them. I mean, if they work, they work. There's no real reason to replace them. but it is not my choice on that matter. I've been on 5 years. Nice. Would I like some cram? I don't know what that is. Sure, I guess. Do I have a panel? If so, what is it? So I have two that I use on my channel a lot. I have a Simplex 4008 and a Silent Night 5820 XL. Those are my two main panels. If I have watched Jared, I would know. I don't have that much time to watch YouTube in general, so I haven't seen all of Jared's content, but I'd have to go take a look at it and see what I can see. What have I been busy with? Mostly just life in general. Um, I'm in my last 2 years of high school. I'm a junior this year, so school and all of its activities keep you pretty busy. I haven't had all that much time to mess around with fire alarm stuff, so it's unfortunate, but you know, I do stuff whenever I can. I have two panels, a Firelight MS4424B and a Silent Night 5104. I have I I actually have a 4424B, although I don't really use it that much anymore. It was the panel for my home system for a while, but I upgraded to the 4008 last year. Same with Frosted Strobes. I miss his vids. I used to watch Frosted Strobes quite a bit, but he hasn't really published much recently. Same, I've been busy with work. Honestly, that's fair. Man's gotta make money somehow. But it's just, it's the way things go sometimes. You start out, you make a whole bunch of content all the time, and then life catches up with you and you slow down significantly with your content creation. It's definitely happened with me. I remember I used to upload like every other day, and now I'm down to about every 2 weeks to a month between videos. So soon I'll have a house system with the 4424B, the classics, and the BG10s. Nice. It is sad, but it happens. Yeah, it is kind of sad. Although I'm relating to a lot of these guys who step away to do other things more and more recently. I hope to get a house system with a 4008 or a 4010. You should go for that if you want to do that. Although you'll probably need a little bit of money and definitely some time if you want to pull that off. 5505 and 5506 are cool devices. I agree. Especially, I forget which one is the one that looks kind of like a 7002T, but those are really cool. I'm pretty sure it's 5505 is the one that has like the 7002T type body. I'm putting it up tomorrow, and I'm going to make a YouTube video if you want to see it. If I think about it tomorrow, I'll check in and see if you've uploaded something, although I can't promise anything. But I think it'll definitely be cool. Hey Jared, good to see you on here. Busy night at work, just thought I'd come on and say hello. Well, hello to you, Jared. Nice to see you. There's also a 5504. I am not familiar with that. Hey, Jared. Gotta run. Have a good night if I don't come back. All right, nice seeing you tonight, Jared. Thanks for stopping by. Wait, do I hear smoke alarm chirps? You are, in fact, hearing a smoke alarm chirp intermittently. I still can't find the darn thing. And there it went. It's like the 5505, but with a 4050 or 4051 grill. Yeah, I have not seen one of those before. Hey, cool if you found one, vintage fire alarm guy. Figure for y'all watching, I'll tell you about a little something I'm possibly working on. Let's just say there might be an expansion. Well, I guess I shouldn't really say expansion, but a modification to my board upstairs that I feel like a lot of you would like. So we'll have to see about that. As I said, no promises because I've been talking about doing something like this for almost a year now. So who knows what's going to end up happening. I have the 5505, 5506, and 5509. Nice. Does anyone have any Spectrular advances? Yes, I own several. Although, as Vintage Fire Alarm guy said, says he sold his. I will probably sell a couple of mine at some point because I don't need like 10 Spectrular advances. I have too many of them. I think in general, probably within the next year or so, I'm probably am going to downsize my collection a little bit, just because I have other things I do in life and I don't need like duplicates of stuff the way I used to like having it. So I'm probably gonna sift through some of my stuff and probably get rid of some stuff. The library down the street from me has a rare system with Wheelock AS vertical strobes and Honeywell FA50s. I'm not sure what a Honeywell FA50 is. I'm assuming it's maybe a pull station. I don't know. My dad works at a place with a lot of advances. He got me all the ones that are being replaced. I have like 20 little nice. But I do got something on eBay a month ago anyway. Hello? Hello, Great Pineapple. Where can I get an ANN 80? Probably like eBay or something. If you wanted to look on there, I'm sure you could probably find one for sale. I got a lot of devices I'm planning on selling, and I'm planning on selling the 4004. Cool. I think for me, I'm probably going to sell off a lot of my duplicate, more modern duplicate devices I have, because I have like quite a few newer devices that I would probably want to get rid of. I'm going to step away for just a second, although I'm not going to end the stream this time, but I will be right back. I will get to all your questions here in just a second. All right, I'm back. My family just got home, so I gotta be a little quiet now. Although, do I have an eBay store? I used to, although it's largely out of business. I haven't even logged on to eBay in probably 4 or 5 months. I should probably get back to it, but I pretty much just stopped selling, so I just left it. I got to replace the CPU unit first before I sell it. I'm assuming you're talking about the 4004. Thing I'd be careful about is just to make sure that getting a whole new CPU for the thing doesn't cost more or cost you more money than you could get out of selling it. Glad I got my 4903 9101 for 15 plus shipping. I have 3 SWs that I can sell. Cool. I'm sorry if the noise of my family upstairs is getting picked up. They just got home, and I'm in an unfinished basement without any insulation in the ceiling, so they're being loud. You can probably sell the 4004 for 350. That sounds about accurate. I've seen most of the 4004s I've seen sell for between probably $200 and $500, so 350 is definitely within that range. I'm going to sell it with some other stuff too. My friend is a 9200 UDLS and I'm jealous. Nice. I have a 4251 41E. Nice. I love how I'm like, it's kind of funny. I'm really not, I don't watch that many fire alarm videos anymore. So, like, my knowledge of what some of these model numbers are is starting to get a little rusty. But for the most part, I still know what y'all are talking about. Vintage fire alarm guy, sometimes I advise against selling a bunch of random items in a big lot just because you won't make as much money. Although I guess if you want to get rid of a bunch of stuff really quickly, it works. I have a very old Gamewell pull station that I don't know the model, but it's old and I got in new condition for my dad. Nice. Simplex 4006 for $100, 55 with shipping. Is it worth it? Um, Depends on like whether it has the case or if it has all the screws in it or if you know it works or not. Sometimes people put these panels up on eBay and they're locked out of them. That's just the panel board. If there's a lot more factors than just the price you have to take into consideration. Although I would say for if the thing's $100, then yeah, J-Doll fire alarm. Can you pull that? If you're talking about this, I can pull this. It's pulled. How did I get that? I got this in a set of two along with a NBG12L on eBay about 2 years ago. It was one of those things. It was just I found it on sale, so I bought it because it was like a really good deal. Matter of fact, I own a BG12LX, and I have absolutely no need for another one. I have the Gamewell M4613. I've never heard of that model number. I only have the 28 and 95. I hate when plates come with short pigtails. With the short pigtails, you might be able to like add some length of wire to that if possible, although I'm not quite sure. Depends on how short the pigtails are. If not, you might need to like open the thing up and solder some new wires onto those terminals where the wires connect to. Can I show you the Simplex T-Bar? I'm not gonna go get it. Well, actually, I think I might have a T-Bar down here. Let me think. Yeah, I have a T-Bar I can show you. Okay, so I do have a T-Bar down here from a video that I recorded, but I haven't uploaded yet. It's just a 425120. So there it is. I like the 425120. Nice. Should I get a Firelight MP24? Honestly, it's your choice. I personally don't really like them because it's pretty much just a relay with a couple LEDs and some buttons on it, not much else. And they usually are pretty overpriced for what you actually get. I mean, yes, it's a rare panel, but like it's also not that interesting of a panel. So I do not know what to use for my horn strips on the home system. 49.3s or True Alerts. I think if you wanted something that's more modern, you can go with the True Alerts. Um, I would actually personally go with the True Alerts because pretty much any model of them can sync, and the backs of them are flat, so it makes it easier to mount them to the wall in less conventional ways. If you have parents that don't like this stuff installed all over your house. I know my parents don't really care for my home system that much when it's actually going off, so I've had to do some interesting mounting techniques to get them to approve, which makes having the True Alerts with the flat backs very convenient. What do I look like? I am not showing my face to the internet. All I'll say is I'm probably a solid 4 out of 10. I don't know why I like System Sensor so much. System Sensor Spectre Alert Advance. I am only going to use True Alarms as smoke detectors. On my home system, I have True Alarms for the smoke detectors. My computer just gave me a pop-up for 1,000 blocked ads. Kind of ironic. I'm a 1 out of 10. Nice. I do have Discord. Although my Discord is a very interesting place. Some people from my school joined it, and it's been kind of a mess ever since. I'm legit ugly, don't look at my face. Hey, same. I think 4 out of 10 might have been a bit generous for me. I'm probably more like a 1 or a 2 out of 10. Can you show me your BG12? I guess if you have a way to share it with me, you can if you want. My Discord can be found in the links of any of my newer videos. So just click on like the Silent Night test that uploaded today and click the Discord link in there. It should take you right to it. I don't know where that smoke detector that keeps chirping is. I have multiple people comments about it on every time I do these live streams. So I promise you, it's not going to be my profile picture. In fact, when I find the thing, I'm probably going to go burn it. I have had some problems with underage kids on my Discord server. I have had problems. I think most of us in general have had problems with underage kids on the internet in general. Like YouTube is really supposed to be a 13 plus site, but it seems like a lot of people in the community are like 9 or 10. So, I mean, it's technically fine, but they're not supposed to be like, commenting and making videos and stuff like that. Can I get a shout out? Shout out to J Doll Fire Alarm. Go subscribe. I should sell the kitty. I mean, maybe if I gathered up enough like old residential smoke alarms, I could probably sell them. But most of them are not really worth selling on their own because it costs more to ship it than you could sell it for. The thing with like regular commercial fire alarms is like if I put this up on eBay, I could probably sell it for 20, $30 and stick it in a box. It's costs $5, $6 to ship, so you make a little money there. But with a residential smoke alarm, they're pretty much worthless once you pull them out of a house, unless it's like a vintage collector's model. But most of the ones I have laying around there from about probably 2000 to 2008, so not really worth anything. I'd like to own a Canadian 4001. I mean, if you can find one, I don't see why you couldn't buy one. The Notifier BG12LX is pretty cool because they kind of rare or common. Um, I guess depending on your area, if Notifier is pretty common, you'll probably see BG12LXs a lot. There's one on eBay right now, but it's too overpriced. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I have not been on eBay in probably 4 months to actually go shopping for fire alarms, so I have no idea what's on there right now. I've kind of stepped away from eBay as a whole. Not quite sure if I want to come back yet. Even if I wanted to, I can't even get into my account, so I'm kind of locked out of it for right now. So my school's church has a 320 and BG12LXs and E70s. Interesting. If it's on a 320, it'd probably have a separate voice panel. So sounds like it's a smaller system, but it still needs some voice capability. So how's my experience as a fire tech? I am not a fire alarm tech at the moment. I am still a high school student, so got to do that first. But who knows? Maybe after high school, I'll be a fire alarm tech for a little bit. I feel like it'd be something that'd be kind of fun to do for a few years, but probably not as a full career. What does it look like in that pull station? I mean, if I pull it, you'll see, you can kind of see the inside of it there. If I push that up a little bit, it's just molded plastic, really. It's got a little tab here that the lock holds on, and that's what you pull on. It just releases from that. This is the little actuator button in there, and then the back of it is just pigtail wires. Does the tap sometimes break? I'm not sure what you mean by that, so can't really answer that yet. Oh boy, a lot of comments. I joined your Discord. Nice. An office supply store has a mixed system with that MT. This actually isn't an MT. It's an EHEL1 horn strobe from, what is that? I think it was from 93. Yeah, 1993. I joined your Discord. I think I just read that. Very weathered in the store for some reason. Alexander's Alarms, welcome. Why does it just sit there and not hook it up? I don't really feel like hooking these up right now because that takes extra time and there'd be wires everywhere and it just isn't as attractive. Plus, if it's not connected, I can just pick it up and move it around. And I don't really want to make noise right this second. Looks pretty modern for 93. I don't know. I think this was one of the earlier ADA strobes, and it's like 117 candela, so it's pretty bright too. How do you join Discord? So go to one of my more recent videos and scroll down in the description and click on the Discord link. The EHEL1 sounds kind of like True Alert. Yeah, these have a similar sound to a True Alert. It's like the same type of sound chip or something that they use in it. That type of electronic horn tone has been around for a long time now. That True Alert tone that you're familiar with, that's one of the oldest horn tones out there. I just got a 49C MTV and it's actually pretty sick. Nice. That sounds to me like one of those True Alerts one of those new like True Alert ES looking devices, but they're actually conventional and will run on a 24-volt input. Welcome back, Fire Alarm 33. I am back. I've been back online for about 40 minutes now. Where was I? I had to go do something. I had to go pick up one of my sisters from a school across town. So that's why I had to step away for a little bit. What's the video called so I can join Discord? Just click on any of my videos from like the last probably 2 months and go into the description and click on the link that says Discord next to it. So you'll see like Discord : and then it'll be just click the link on that and you'll say like you've been invited to join whatever server. If you haven't made an account, you'll probably have to make an account first. But that's how you do that. New Age server alarms UNHNMCS is very high pitched. I think if you're referring to system test like 26 or whatever it was, where he had all the mechanical horns, I think he said he actually stuck his 9806 behind it. And that's how he got that high pitched sound. How do you delete a GroupMe group from GroupMe on desktop? I think you can just leave the group from anywhere. You don't like delete the group, but I'm pretty sure you can leave the group from a desktop. If you want to leave my GroupMe, I don't blame you because I haven't used that in like a year. Well, maybe not a year, but a while. Oh, I'm not leaving yours. Nice. I wonder what it sounded like IRL, not filmed with a pair of a camera. What sounds like? I guess like what are you wondering what it sounds like? If you know what I'm trying to say. System test 26.1, I imagine it probably was significantly louder. One thing you would keep in mind is that I'm sure it's a lot louder than it sounded on the camera in real life, just because New Age Server Alarm's house really isn't that big. It's like a 3-bedroom house, so it's probably around 1,200 square feet, maybe. Um, and, we had 4 alarms spread out, 2 in the basement, 2 upstairs. Mechanical horns, so I'd imagine you'd hear it pretty well. But honestly, the only way you would have known would have been to have been there, and that video was shot over 10 years ago. So it would be hard to say without, like, perfectly replicating it. But I'd imagine it'd be louder, and there'd be like more overtones that you hear with your own ear that a camera doesn't pick up. It's on a Silent Night video they made today, J Doll. Fun fact about that Silent Night video from today, I actually recorded it like a month and a half ago, and it's only just now getting uploaded, and I haven't actually filmed another test of that system since then. In fact, I've probably only set it off like once or twice since then. So, UNHN sounds like a GX90. They did make like the UMMT style horn strobes that had a mini horn in them, although not in like the mechanical horn strobe body that they sold. Hello, fire alarms of Northeast Kansas. Hello, TP Gamer 421. One thing I will say is I think I might have a video that I could upload tonight that I might publish maybe tomorrow. It's a pretty short video, but I feel like a lot of you might find it slightly interesting. So, 7 people watching, that is fairly standard for my channel. During a live stream, about 7 to 12 viewers probably is what I get. I don't think I've ever had more than, say, probably 15 in a live stream. A 10-year-old has begged me for my 9221. Do not give that to him. I think CP or Faraday made a pre-mini with an S75 strobe with the UMMT shell. I know they made a horn strobe that had the UMMT shell, but it had a strobe closer to this on it. It's obviously not this exact strobe, but it was like a vertical strobe like this. What are those two called? Like these devices here? This is a Notifier LNG1R pull station, and this is a Wheelock EHEL1WM24. They're both from like the same time period. I believe they were both manufactured in 1993. This is manufactured in 93. I think this is also 93, but I'm not sure. I really want an SS24 frosted. Keep your eyes on eBay. You might find one at some point. Kind of tired tonight. It's been a long week. When was the pull station made? Like I said, I think it's actually there's a date code written on this on the inside, so let's find out. Yep, June 24th, 1993 is when this pull station was manufactured. So now I gotta find my key again. So yes, this pull station is like 28 years old. How I got my 9221 is really funny. Um, I was looking on eBay for a speaker strobe and thought the 9221 was a speaker and ordered it and powered it. Honk, it gave me a heart attack. Nice. I still remember the first fire alarm I ever got in I was in first grade. It was in 2011. Um, Dang, it's been 10 years since I got my first fire alarm. Time really flies. Anyway, um, I got it in 2011. It was a Simplex 4903 9168, maybe. It didn't have a model number on the back. It was a speaker strobe, red 4903 speaker strobe. And I remember being so excited about getting it and just, looking at every little detail on it because, I thought it was cool. Very, very exciting for me. Nowadays, I don't know where that speaker is. I lost the speaker out of it at some point, and the strobe on it fried like 5 years ago too. So rest in peace, that first fire alarm. I have a question. Go ahead and ask it. Have I ever seen anyone, and I mean a single live stream of yours that had anyone hated? Um, I don't think I've ever had anyone directly hate my live streams. I've had a couple. I had one of my friends in real life watch one of my streams, and then he talked about something going on at school that I didn't want him to talk about, and I had already warned him not to talk about that particular thing in my live streams that night, because he said he was going to say it in a live stream, and he said it, and I promptly banned him from speaking. And I believe he is still blocked from saying anything in my streams. So, Sean, if you're watching this, sorry but not sorry. I told you not to talk about it. I taped it to the wall, and of course, it broke like a week later. Of course, everyone always breaks their first fire alarm. It's kind of expected because fire alarms are not exactly durable, and little kids playing around with them, they'll break them. I still have that BG12. Nice. I still have. I had like 3 original BG12s that I had. Stupid YouTube reminders, get out of my face. Um. Anyway, I had a NBG12L that I had. I got when I was in around the same time I got the 4903 in 2011. Because I remember my elementary school had some NBG12 type pull stations, so I'm like, ooh, I want one of those. And I saw a BG12 on eBay, and it was like $50. And I tried to convince my parents to buy me one, and they're like, "No, that's $50. Do you have $50?" And of course I didn't. I was like a little 7-year old, so I had probably maybe $20, maybe. So then, eventually a few weeks later, a BG12 comes up on eBay for like probably for like $15 or something like that. So I bought it, and a week later it comes in. I played around with it. It was a good time. I could replace the switch, but it makes me laugh when I think about the time I ripped the wires out of the BG12. Must be good memories, doesn't it? Yeah, it's kind of fun to think back on your origins as a collector sometimes. Although for me, that was a long time ago. I'll tell you this. I'm going to say something that's probably going to blow a lot of your minds. I remember when New Age Server Alarm System Test 26 came out. I used to watch YouTube on my dad's phone when I was like little, and when I was getting into fire alarms, was right around the time when New Age Server Alarm posted System Test 26, 27, 28, right in that era, late 2011. I remember System Test 26 being a brand new video. Like I remember it coming out. And then I remember System Test 27 coming out, followed by 28. So I remember those days. I still have my second alarm. It was a knockoff Spectre alert. Nice. Good night, J Doll fire alarm. I remember when I first watched System Test 26. I remember it too because I think I vaguely remember the version of System Test 26 that had the guest speaker in it. Because if you watch it now, it's been recut into 26.1. But like I think very vaguely remember just System Test 26 with the guest speaker in it. Who was it? I have no recollection of who it would have been. I didn't pay attention to that back then. But I'm pretty sure I remember, hearing, conversation between him and whoever it was. What fire alarm scared me the most? I don't know. I recall being really little and being fine with fire alarms going off in buildings, but then whenever I'd come back like a few years later, I would always be paranoid that the fire alarm would go off. I remember one of the buildings was a preschool that I went to that I've talked about a few times. It was the building with the unknown system that I am guessing was a Notifier System 5000 installed in like 1995. It had Gentex SHGs on continuous. They were the third gen models with the really bright strobes and the almost like chunky strobe lens on them, if that's the right word, or like the textured lens on them all the way through. And of course, the reflector in the back. They sound like a Commander 3. Um, but they were on continuous. They were really loud. The strobes were really bright, and they were all out of sync. And it didn't scare me that much when I was 4, but when I came back to the building at the age of like 6 or 7, I always remember being petrified at the idea of those alarms going off. Yes, Gentex SHGs. I remember my preschool that had integrities. I always looked at it and thought it's gonna go off. I mean, when you're a little kid, you obviously have no idea of the rhyme or reason of a fire alarm going off. Even it, in general, you don't have any idea of the rhyme or reason of why a fire alarm will go off. If you knew it was going to go off, there'd be no reason to have it. Talking about integrities. Integrities aren't really that loud. Although I could see how they could startle you. Although I feel like once, they were going, you'd be fine. I think it had an EST too. I mean, it's possible. That would have been around the era that integrities were still installed as, indoor alarms. It's kind of funny now that I think of it. I don't know if I've ever seen a system that had integrities both inside and outside. Like they started installing integrities outside when the Genesis series started to become popular, but I don't know if I've ever seen a system that had integrities inside and out. That had like integrities inside, but also had one of those integrity weatherproof ones outside. Do I have an EST Genesis? I do. I love the Siemens voice evac. Please leave the building by the nearest exit. It took me a second to figure out what you meant by check script. And then I realized you meant the one where it's kind of, cut between that and there's a pause there. That would be your older Siemens, Cerberus Pyrotronics voice systems. Question: what made me like fire alarms? So that is a very long story, although I'll just say that it all kind of started back in 2008 when I was in preschool at the aforementioned school with the SHGs. I remember very vividly, it's one of my earliest memories, just sitting in the preschool classroom when the fire alarm went off. And, it's an elementary school, they have fire drills. So fire alarm goes off, it's the SHGs. And I remember standing in line, we'd line up by this door, and there was a single person bathroom next to it. And that bathroom door was open, and there was a Gentex GXS strobe on the wall. And it was one of the it was third generation. It was a really new model from like probably 1999, and it was flashing away. It had the whole textured lens on it and the reflector, and it was really bright. And I remember, staring at that strobe, watching it flash, go like flash, 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 flash. I didn't really know what the noise was, but I still instinctively got up and lined up with the class. So I must have heard it before. And, I remember standing there staring at that strobe as the fire alarm was going off. I could obviously hear, the continuous horn in the classroom going off, but I never actually saw the strobe. And when I look back on it, is because in that classroom, the horn strobe was above the opposite door in that classroom, and it was blocked by something. So couldn't see the strobe, but I could see the strobe in the bathroom. And I remember going out into the hallway and seeing the SHGs sounding and making noise and flashing out of sync and all that. And it was just kind of fascinating. And I also recall going outside and you could hear a Wheelock MT sounding in the distance. And my little 4-year-old mind thought that the sound of the SHGs passing through the walls and the windows somehow made it resonate really high pitched, and that somehow made the sound of the MT outside because it was all in continuous. So it's a fun little story there. A little memory of a preschool fire drill. Those MXL panels are huge. Yeah, MXLs can be kind of big. They range in size from just like the regular, whatever, MXL IQ or whatever it's called, which are obviously fairly big. And then they've made, multi-bay, multi-node systems. I used to like elevators, and my dad said you can't have an elevator, but you can have a fire alarm. And I said, okay. And now I'm here with 40 devices. I mean, honestly, fair enough. Can't really install an elevator in your house. It'd be too dang expensive, and you wouldn't have any room. Wouldn't be practical to have it in your house. But, you can buy a fire alarm for 20, $30 on eBay. So my school had GMHs inside the classroom and 9838s in the hallway. Nice. Now that I think of it, I have never actually been in a school with mechanical horns. The elementary school that I went to from like kindergarten through 6th grade had mechanical horns in part of the building. But they never sounded the alarm for a fire drill, so I never, heard a fire alarm go off. I never had like the monthly fire alarm goes off for a fire drill until I was in 7th grade. And that was the last year that particular school district did monthly fire drills. Nowadays they do them, 4 times a year, I think. In the last couple of years, they haven't even been using the alarms anymore. So good times. The only time I've heard the fire alarm go off at my high school in the last 2 years is that one video that I made where where some kid kicked the ball into a sprinkler head and it set off the flow switch. So my middle school is the most boring Simplex 4010 system. My school is very fond of the 4010. A lot of districts have like a brand that they like. Not gonna lie, I never had a fire drill since COVID hit. That is pretty accurate for me. We haven't done a fire drill with the fire alarm since before COVID, so that would have last fire drill we used the fire alarm for was February of 2020, February of last year. In fact, this month we're actually due to have another fire drill since it's November now. Now I think of it. A kid did a pull up on a sprinkler pipe. The dialer called the fire department, and it was crazy. It burst. Um, Interestingly enough, at my school, with the sprinkler incident happened, the fire alarm only went off for about 5 minutes. I assume they silenced it, and that's the day that I learned that my school does not have audible silence because the fire alarm panel was in alarm for the entire day, although they had it silenced and none of the strobes were flashing anywhere in the building. Um, but I didn't know that because my school, in the before COVID times, they never actually put the system into a fire alarm. They would just hit a drill button, and you'd hit the drill button again, and everything would shut off. But when the fire alarm went off, the fire department actually did not respond to that. It was pretty much just like a fire drill, except the sprinkler alarm was sounding. In fact, that was the only reason I even knew what happened from the get go because we went outside and I saw the sprinkler alarm was going off. So I'm like, okay, something kind of serious is happening because I knew that it was in the month of like September or October. So, the school district doesn't do fire drills at that time of the year. So I was like, okay, something's happening. Fire alarm's going off. But, it pretty much just ended up being a fire drill. Patience, please. This is a Notifier LNG1R. Please be patient. If I'm telling a story, I will get to you as soon as I can. My school district is a Firelight, Silent Night, and Notifier fan, but not Simplex like they did in the 90s. Once in my school's old elementary school, one strobe was flashing the whole day. For some reason, could have been a trouble. Huh. Sounds kind of weird. Usually that doesn't happen, but I guess anything's possible. That 5820 was something else. It had a weird style of wiring. I'm sure, however, your school's fire alarm system was wired is probably up to code, but it really just depends on how the system was designed to be installed, or however the wiring was spec'd. Imagine a kid throw water at the panel. Now, I don't know why anyone would ever do that, but who knows? If a fire alarm panel gets wet, it can do weird things to it. Although I'm not entirely sure what would happen if you did that. All I can say is don't try it. It would not be good. That is correct. That would not be good if you did that. However, you could put in mineral oil and it would run normally, and but it would make a mess. Yes, mineral oil is not conductive, so if it gets wet with mineral oil, it'd be fine. But again, I don't know why you would ever do that. A lot of money. All right. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock. I'm kind of tired. Um, so I think I'm going to call tonight with the stream. I just want to thank you all for coming out and entertaining me tonight. So yeah, this is Fire Alarms Northeast Kansas signing off.